Good morning, friends. Today morning, surprisingly a beautiful morning. After a long stretch of heat and humidity, today morning was pleasant with clouds and a lovely breeze. And I thought there's a best occasion, best time to read some good poetry. And I got from a library, and I got my hands laid on Kulliyat-e Iqbal. It's a collection of all the poetry by great poet Iqbal. And after turning the few pages, I hooked on to his favorite Nazm, how he recognized God by his blessings. And it reads, you see, the first four lines reads like this, that हमने तुझे जाना है फकत तेरी अता से, काबे से तकद्दुस से, तो मरवा व सफा से, तारों से, इंजील से, कुरान से, कुरान की सदा से, यासीन से, ताहा से, मुजम्मिल से, नबा से, एक नूर जो निकला था कभी गारे हिरा से, हमने तुझे जाना है फकत तेरी अता से. My dear friends, it's my habit to translate every verse I read in Urdu in English, but I don't dare to translate these beautiful lines into English and mar its beauty and eloquence. You can't get it in English. That's why this it's a long poetry, but it reminds me of my own experiences. Again, I'll share with you why people have so much waste their time once knowing God. There are far too many better things to do. Why bring in God every time and don't even keep guessing, remain in state of confusion always and reach nowhere? To corroborate to this, it was Gorakhpur where I was posted, and my residence was right next to in front of the Gorakhpur University. And the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Arun Kumar, was also staying next to my house. So we used to have quite long sittings, very frequent meetings. So we knew each other's ideas and very well. We knew each other well. So it just happened that one day I get an invitation to speak in a seminar on the religious heritage in Uttar Pradesh. That was to be conducted in Samvad Bhavan of the Gorakhpur University itself. Of many speakers, I was also one of the speakers. And I wondered they could not have found a more unsuitable guest speaker, as I have never made a secret of my confused state of mind, although a believer, of inquisitive state of mind, always questioning things and knowing, putting things to the test of reasoning. In his introductory opening speech, Mr. Vice Chancellor Professor Arun Kumar said that if you are going to request Colonel Zahid Siddiqui to speak on this, then God help our religion. Although that was a little unfair, as despite my avid inquisitive mind and always asking questions, I always enjoyed uh, reading these scriptures and gave a lot of my time in understanding them and also sharing with people my belief. But the fact remains, my friend, my mind always remained in a state of confusion, in a similar state of confusion like that of Allama Iqbal. He says, ढूंढता फिरता हूं मैं इकबाल अपने आप को, आप ही गोया मुसाफिर, आप ही मंजिल हूं मैं. Oh Iqbal, I go about looking for myself, as I were the traveler as well as his destination. However, In Samvad Bhavan, the assemblage of the theologians, I was like a cat in a pigeon loft. My address, printed beforehand, was deliberately held back till the last moment by the director of the Department of Religion, lest it cause a general walkout before I began, because everybody sitting was there absolutely with closed mind, have certain beliefs, and they don't want to hear anything else or any questions to their belief systems. And I knew that I will definitely ask few questions. Mercifully, they heard me to the last without booing me, without shooing me off. What did I say? Of course, nothing very novel, only that every thinking man must make up his own religion. No rational person, I said, can subscribe to the theories of origin of life, to conjectures of life hereafter, put out by different religious system. Every religion has got his own belief, his own theology, his own understanding of life hereafter. I feel somehow that every Indian should be content himself in making his own code of conduct for his years in the world. Iqbal has prescribed many such principles. I just read his book many times earlier, but it's fresh. I just read it in the morning, so I can talk to you and quote him. He has prescribed many such principles, which should become the basis of a new religion. For example, he said, and I agree with this so beautifully, that take nothing, first thing, take nothing for granted, but question every statement. He says in his poetic way that yaqeen kam kun, giftar shak e bosh. That means the best way to spend your life on earth is to create something worthwhile which may live after you. Beautiful. Same thing Umar Khayyam writes in his Rubaiyats, in opening stanzas only, that moving finger writes and having written moves. If you want to leave something behind, then write something. And if you cannot write, then do something that people must write upon you. Because rest everything is going to get, it falls away, it vanishes, it finishes. Nothing of lasting worth can be created except by ceaseless striving, triggered off by an ever active talatum. Strong, talatum is Urdu word. Hyperactive mind. Now this is the antithesis to yoga. And therefore Iqbal rejected in toto the practice of yoga which is directed towards stilling the mind. And here he is saying, unless you have talatum, hyperactive man, a storm in your mind, nothing creative, nothing worthless can come out. He says only that which is earned by the sweat of your brow is legitimate, halal. All that comes through inheritance or by chance is haram, is illegitimate. He is so strong in his expression. And my dear friends, above all, once you are convinced of the righteousness of your cause, pursue it to bitter and without fear or concerns of the consequences. This is what even I am convinced and believe very strongly. Do not. We can extract, if you read this thing, we can extract all the Iqbalism from Gita and all other scriptures of every religion. But why then waste your time speculating whether or not God exists. Just accept it. It is something like that. Somebody asked Mullah Nasruddin, ये दुनिया किसकी है, किसने बनाई है? He smiled. I said, why do you waste your time on these irrelevant questions? Absolutely not. He said, take example. He said, he took that friend and took a walk, and he saw a cow with his a calf, and he asked everyone, ये गाय किसकी है? This cow belongs to whom? People got together and said, we don't know whose cow is this. We have no idea. But suddenly a child comes up from the amidst the crowd and he says, कि मैं बताता हूँ, I will tell you. So Mullah said, oh my God, you tell me what? He said, Chacha Jan, uncle, I don't know who this cow belongs, but I certainly know about the calf. मुझे नहीं मालूम ये गाय किसकी है, ये मालूम ये बच्चा किसका है, गाय का बच्चा किसका है. तूने ये गाय का बच्चा किसका है? तो कह रहे ऑब्वियसली इसी गाय का बच्चा है. That's it. That's it. The state of the biggest proof we only know this world that it exists and it is. So why get into this discussion of knowing who created, how created, whether God exists or not? Why bring in God every time? It's not necessary. Because it is, it exists, whether we believe or don't believe. Thank you very much.